Here's Bilbo Baggins.
By the time The Hobbit comes out, it'll have been 9 years since we were in Middle-earth. So the first job of the trailer is to put us back into that world.
My dear Frodo.
So we start, of course, at Bag End with our old friends Bilbo and Frodo. But we quickly move to other familiar scenes, such as Rivendell, where we see the Sword of Narsil, and Galadriel and Gandalf, and we even see Sting being found. One of the Hobbit's appeals is that it undercuts that usual stance of characters longing for adventure.
I can't just go running off into the blue. I am a Baggins.
Wait!
Of Bag End.
Bilbo Baggins does not want to go on an adventure. This is an unconventional choice. Because after all, anyone that goes to see the movie or picks up the book is looking for an adventure. Our first shot of Gandalf is an invitation to the audience.
Bilbo Baggins. I'm looking for someone to share in an adventure.
Look no further, Mithrandir. I'm right here. This is a common technique in trailers to get our attention. Witness this example from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas with our old friend Johnny Depp.
Let's give the boy a lift. We can't stop here. This is backcountry.
Damn, I never rode a convertible before!
Get out.
Just a little warning, if you do get in that car, you better bring a barf bag.
I need this, right?
I'll remember your face.
How do you establish the personalities of 13 dwarves? Sir Ian McKellen explains the problem well.
What a challenge. I mean, 13 heroes, or 14 with Bilbo. They all have to be differentiated in a way that isn't necessary in the book, but if you keep seeing them, you want to know who they are and specifically and what their attitude is and why they're on this journey.
No one understands this better than Peter Jackson himself. In fact, he says it's one of the reasons why he was reluctant to take on The Hobbit in the first place. Check this out.
13 Dwarves is one of the reasons why I dreaded The Hobbit, and why I really didn't think I was going to make it for such a long time, but the irony is it's turned out to be one of the joys of the film.
The opening salvo to accomplish this task was the release of all the individual photographs of the dwarves. Timed so that we'd get excited and maybe try to figure out who each of them are.
Fili, Kili, Oin, Loin, Dwalin, Balin, Biffa, Hofer, Wampa. Dory.
Fortunately, Peter Jackson has at his disposal Martin Freeman, whose resume includes Love Actually, which in my opinion is the best film ever to accomplish this task of getting a multitude of characters off the ground. And if Peter Jackson accomplishes this, I think he'll pull off something that Tolkien didn't manage to do. Sacrilege, I know, but when you read that book, you tell me if you can tell the difference between Fili and Kili and Oin and Gloin and all those other characters. And then there's the leader.
Thorin Oakenshield.
Thorin is shot at a low angle, giving him a great deal of power. Normally when you shoot outside, you want to have the sun in front of your actors. That's what I'm doing right now. But in this shot, they actually have the sunlight behind Thorin Oakenshield. And so it's a conscious choice. See what happens when you shoot your actors with the sun behind them? So Jackson had to compensate with some sort of spotlight or key light on Thorin Oakenshield's face. Dead Man's Chest uses the same combination of low angle and sunlight to give Jack Sparrow power. But do you really need a lot of camera tricks when you've got a character named Thorin Oakenshield? Hello, I am Thorin Oakenshield, and I would like a latte.
We need to move now! Come on!
I mean, who's going to not serve him? This is also a deviation from the way Thorin Oakenshield enters the book. We find him in a pile of dwarves in front of Bilbo's door. Certainly the way he enters the trailer is much more manly.
Thorin Oakenshield.
And this is appropriate because he is occupying the space of Aragorn in The Hobbit. But Aragorn is more than just a muscle-bound hero, as evidenced here by a scene from The Fellowship of the Ring where he sings the Lay of Luthien. Like Frodo, we're supposed to get caught up with the song. In the same way, we're supposed to get caught up with Thorin's song, The Misty Mountains Cold in the Hobbit trailer.
Misty mountains cold, to dungeons deep and caverns old.
Chapter 1 of the book actually ends with Bilbo ruminating over the song. As he lay in bed, he could hear Thorin still humming to himself in the best bedroom next to him. Bilbo went to sleep with that in his ears, and it gave him very uncomfortable dreams. It was long after the break of day when he woke up. The song is meant to get in our heads. We're supposed to hunger for the quest, just like the dwarves. I know after seeing it for the first time I was ready to go to the Misty Mountains. How about you?
The pines were roaring on the high.
And then, of course, we have the obligatory montage of spectacle. It's like a visual buffet. Jackson and company used the same kind of strategy in Return of the King, where they bombard us with spectacle, made all the more powerful by the music of Howard Shore. The origins of this kind of usage of spectacle dates back to the earliest days of cinema. After all, when you've only got 40 seconds, the only way you can capture your audience's imagination is to show them things like landscapes. The grandfather of these sweeping shots of Middle-earth is Thomas Edison's Niagara Falls, which he shot in 1896. But the power of beautiful landscapes pales in comparison to the attention you get from putting beautiful people in your films, as Thomas Edison also knew when he first pointed the camera at Annabelle Serpentine Dance in 1894. And then, of course, there's the power of violence. Early boxing matches give way to battles with trolls, but the idea is the same. Violence, when it's in our face, attracts our attention.
You'll have a tale or two to tell when you come back.
Can you promise that I will come back?
No. And if you do, you will not be the same.
We know Bilbo comes back. The subtitle of the book is There and Back Again. But the genius of this rhetorical appeal is that we will be changed by this experience, by accompanying Bilbo on this journey.
Battleness. What is that? Battleness. Precious.
And that concludes Broken Down Trailer for today. I don't know about you all, but I'm counting the days till December 14th.